Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the post-game press conference for the FIBA Asia Cup Qualifiers Group B game between the Philippines and Hong Kong, China. Philippines defeated Hong Kong, China with a score of 93 to 54. Hong Kong, China head coach Wing Leung and player Duncan Reid have joined us, so may I ask you to switch off your phones. The press conference will be conducted in English. Translating for us also tonight will be Duncan Reid. First, coach, your thoughts about the game.
我覺得我哋隊波喺打完上一場波之後，今日嚟到對菲律賓進攻嗰度，我係上半場幾滿意我哋啲外圍射手嘅。咁我哋有得同對手咬緊，都係靠推快嘅節奏，外圍投射。咁第二樣嘢就係、可能我哋去到第三節有啲急啦，咁我哋個防守開始做得冇咁好，但係有啲好嘅地方係我哋仍然有 keep 到，就係第三節我哋嗰個進攻節奏做到，去到做晒所有戰術執行，只不過係臨尾嗰個完結，最後唔係入波。咁呢度我哋成個教練團都滿意球員做到呢樣嘢嘅。咁個溝通，我覺得我哋隊波需要再多啲啦。咁可以令到進攻防守嗰度大家都唔會產生一啲誤會。整體我覺得兩場波咁計，今日我哋無論場入邊同場出邊嘅 bench 嗰個球員嘅氣氛或者整體性，我覺得係進步咗嘅。
First of all, Coach would like to say in the first half, offensively, we improved. And you can see Gilas is a very strong team, and the fact that we were able to keep the score close showed that we did a good job of knocking down our shots and pushing the tempo. In the third quarter, even though we ran our plays and got good looks, we weren't able to make some shots. And with the quality of a team like Gilas, the gap opened up a bit. But Coach is very happy with how we played offensively and the adjustments we made, both within the coaching staff and within our players. One thing that we do need to continue to work on is our ability to talk and our ability to communicate on the court. But overall, Coach is very happy with how we played tonight.
Thank you for the translation, Duncan. And now your own thoughts on the game.
We knew coming in tonight was going to be very tough after Gilas just beat New Zealand. They're riding high. But like Coach said, I'm very proud of how our guys played tonight, especially the first half, keeping the game close. When you have twin towers of Junmar and Kai, it's going to be tough. So me and Simba and Bonbong 35, we did our best. But at times, there's just not much we can do. I feel like also we are getting better each game, but we need more time to develop. I think in the third quarter, we rushed, and defensively, we weren't really as stable and as solid as we could have been. I think we were better than the score shows. I think, oftentimes it should have been a 20, 25-point game instead of a 40-point game, but that's something that we can learn from. Overall, our team is still quite young. I'm getting old, but I'm hoping that the young guys can improve, and next window we can have some better games.
Thank you for that, Duncan. Now we're opening the floor to questions from the media. Just introduce yourself with your name and the media entity that you are representing. Any questions?
My question's for Duncan. Duncan, the first time you played here was 2013, right? Same arena. And in that game, Hong Kong, I remember, gave Gilas a very tough match in the FIBA Asia Championship. Could you just contrast that game and the circumstances then to the here and now?
I think it's very interesting. That was 11 years ago. I think back then we were a little bit more lucky. Gilas, I think, had one of the worst shooting nights they had of their whole FIBA Asia. And also, I think Marcus Douthit was dealing with an injury. So we were a little bit more able to get the ball inside more and score. And defensively, we got lucky. There are a couple of times that I think Larry and a couple guys were open and they just missed shots. Tonight, I think they shot a much better clip. But also, you can see the development of Gilas players that with Coach Tim and everything, you guys have really taken that next step forward. And I think, honestly, that the team tonight was a much tougher game for us. I think the Hong Kong team tonight was honestly a little bit less experienced than that team. So we were a little bit worse, and Gilas was definitely better. And I think that was shown in the final score.
Hi, Luis Ligas from Tiebreaker Times. Duncan, although this is not for this game, you played for the PBA under the Bay Area Dragons, and now you have a couple of teammates on your team who are under Hong Kong Eastern.
Yes.
Do you have any advice for them heading into the next PBA season, and what tips can you give them from your experience?
First of all, enjoy it. PBA has some of the best fans in Asia. You know, I still have people coming up to me asking about Bay Area, and that was a really special time for me. So I tell those guys, enjoy it. You're never really going to have, maybe they have hopefully multiple years here, but to make the most of it, enjoy every single game. Also to learn. The PBA has a very specific style. I played in China for 2 years, and the PBA style is very different to the Chinese style. So there's a lot of stuff that you can learn and develop, but also be careful. You know, the Filipino PBA guards are very skilled, and there's a certain type of offense that they push. I won't get into too much details, but I told them to kind of be ready for that and be ready for the physicality. But those guys are all experienced guys, and I think they're going to do really well. You know, I'm going to be watching those games and hoping that they really represent Hong Kong well.
Duncan Ernest from Tiebreaker Times. How important do you think that those teammates of yours that will be playing in the PBA got an earlier taste of playing in the MOA arena in such a big crowd, like you said, which has some of the best fans in Asia before that PBA Commissioner's Cup?
I think it's really good. I think it's also really good that they got to play against guys like Junmar and Scotty and JB, so they can see kind of what they're getting into. You know, you're not going to have a PBA team that's as stacked as Gilas, but at the same time, you get to see the physicality, the skill, and those 3 guys I think on our team who are playing, they're all younger guys. So that's the first time they've played against those guys, so it was eye-opening, to be honest. So hopefully they can prepare and they can play well throughout the whole conference.
Final call for questions for Hong Kong. If there will be none, then gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us